Are you new to Genshin? Here are updated, practical tips to make your first hours in Genshin fun and stress-free. Hi, I'm Elam. I've been playing Genshin for the past 3 years, since late 2022, and I wanted to make this video for a new player who, like me, when they started, may have been a bit late to the game, but are looking to enjoy the game that's caught their eye. Genshin can be vast, so stick around to get your adventure started right. Genshin shines when you explore. For this tip, don't rush to optimize every step, especially during your first hours. Follow the story, meander around, climb, glide, and open chests. Feel the wonder that comes with exploring the world of Genshin. As the world reveals itself before you, and you discover the secrets of Teyvat, you'll get a feeling for the combat, as well as finding your way around the world. Genshin's exploration changes from region to region, and if you get a feel for it early on, you'll be surprised how in each new region you build on what you learned before, and it always stays fresh. Genshin is a gacha game. If you don't know what that is, don't worry, I've got you. I didn't know when I started playing, and I ended up spending my precious Primo Gems on the standard, less valuable banner. In Genshin, you spend Primo Gems to get Fates, also known as wishes, to make wishes on a banner, which randomly grant characters or weapons. There are different banner types, but the main ones are limited, standard, and weapon. It gets a bit complicated, so here's a basic rundown. Primo Gems are valuable for wishing. You don't want to spend them on anything except for wishing. You only want to wish for limited characters with intertwined fates, also known as the purple or pink ones. The blue acquaint fates are used for the standard or beginner banners. Don't spend your Primo Gems on those. You want to wish on the limited banners to get stronger characters. You'll know they're limited by the time and date that says when they'll leave. The beginner banner uses the same fates as the standard banner, but you get a discount. I recommend spending your first 16 acquaint fates here. Remember, those are the blue ones. You probably don't want to wish on the weapon banner until you're much later in the game and you get the hang of it. Think like adventure rank 50 or higher. More on that later. The rules for each banner can be quite lengthy, but here are the basics. You're guaranteed a 4-star after 10 wishes maximum, or after 90 wishes on a character banner. On the weapon banner, it's a little bit less, at 80. There's a system called Pity as well, where your odds of winning go up if you're pretty deep into the banner. For the character banners, these are 75 and higher. Your odds will progressively get higher until you get a 5-star. For the weapon banner, that's 65 and higher. The specifics don't matter much. Just kind of know that if you reach 75 wishes, your odds of getting a character go way up. The last thing to know is you're not necessarily guaranteed to get the character that you're wishing for on the limited banner. There's a 50-50 system. So when you see that gold flash for the first time on a limited banner, just don't be shocked. You might not get who you want. But don't worry, if you don't get them the first time, another, say, 75 to 80 wishes, and you'll get them guaranteed. Genshin's equipment and character experience systems aren't like role-playing games you might have played before. Sure, there are character experience and whatnot, and you can hunt monsters for experience, but you primarily level up by feeding what are commonly called XP books into your character. Similarly, for weapons, you can feed gemstones into those to power them up, which effectively just grant experience. You'll reach certain level caps where you'll need to ascend the item, character, or even your world in order to progress a bit further. Don't worry too much about those. The rest of the character equipment are what are known as artifacts. There's only 5 of them. In the early game, the most important one to focus on is a feather. Just level a feather up to like level 2 or 3 or 4 when you can, and equip anything you find. The feather has a stat which is attack, flat attack, which is very valuable early on because your normal attacks scale with flat attack, which is going to be the most valuable stat for you. Everything else doesn't really matter, just put on whatever you find and away you go until you're much higher adventure rank. Speaking of adventure rank, the next tip is about some terms you might hear. Adventure rank is the primary means of progression in Genshin. You'll find that some quests get locked behind adventure rank, so you'll have to level up your adventure rank in order to continue. The easiest way to do this is just go out and explore. Do some quests, advance the main story, and if you get stuck, explore some more, open some more chests, turn in some oculi to the statues of the 7, and you'll find your adventure rank going up. Also, daily commissions grant a good amount of adventure rank experience as well. Another term you might hear is resin. This unlocks a little bit into the game, and it is a time-limited resource that will cap at a certain amount. So you can only get so much each day. So when you have it, you'll want to use it because it'll help power up your characters over time. You might hear some other terms floating around like Spiral Abyss or Imaginarium Theater, Stygian Onslaught. Don't worry about those for the time being, but those are some of the end game modes that you'll get to play much later. Spiral Abyss opens up at Adventure Rank 20, Imaginarium Theater at Adventure Rank 35, and most characters will take on the Stygian Onslaught at around AR 57 or so. My biggest tip for Genshin is to play who you like. If you see a character on a banner and you think they look cool, and you want to wish for them, regardless of how strong they are, go for it. Genshin has had some real stinkers in the past as far as characters and power, but some of them are just downright adorable. And, some of my favorites you would never use in the endgame content. But that doesn't matter. Play the way you want. There are ways to power up characters by getting multiple copies of them, and if you're a bit of a spender, then you can also power them up by getting multiple copies as well. But you don't need to spend anything to enjoy your time in Genshin. If you are considering spending in Genshin, there are some optimum ways to do so to get the most out of your money. If you want to optimize your Primo Gems, the best way to get Primo Gems for the least amount of money is the Welkin Moon. You can think of it like a monthly subscription. It's generally $5 a month, and what that will grant you is effectively 3,000 Primo Gems. That is a great value compared to some of the other options. The next most efficient way is the Battle Pass, which you do have to level that up to 50, but it does give a good amount of wishes as well as Primo Gems at the end of it if you complete it. The final way to get Primo Gems for money is, in fact, to just directly purchase them, which is the least efficient money to Primo Gem thing you can do. So if you're concerned about your funds and you want to make them go further, get a Welkin Moon and just play as often as you can, and you'll see those Primo Gems roll in every single day. You can also stack the Welkin Moon for a total of up to 210 days, realistically 100. And that's it. Those are my tips for a way to get started on Genshin Impact in 2025 or maybe early 2026. You can explore, learn the banner system, prioritize your adventure rank, keep your artifact expectations low, get the terms, and most importantly, get to know the characters and see who you like to play. Are you new to Genshin? Or are you looking forward to wishing for someone? Let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, please remember to like and subscribe and check out more of my content. Thank you, everyone. Take care.